Good evening, everybody. I had to come on tonight and just talk to you from my heart and to kind of encourage all of us to cut the women around us some slack. And men too, of course, and dads or whomever, but I just feel like we moms and we women can be so judgy and, whether we mean to or not, really pass judgments on people throughout our day that we really have no business doing, because I believe in my heart of hearts, when it comes down to it, every mom and every woman, every person is just doing their best. Do we have faults? Do we have flaws? Do we make mistakes? Do we get exacerbated? Do we get loss of patience? Of course. But when it comes down to it, we're all just doing our best. So I want to share a little story and why this is important to me today. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Pamela Bussarello. I am a mom of three. I am a high school English teacher. I am the face behind To Fit in Motherhood, and I am a fitness coach as well. And I'm all about the positive vibes. All about them. Even when I'm at my lowest, even when I've had hardships, and I have them plenty, I'm still a person who likes to be a positive energy. I love to smile. I like to feel like I am capable. It's really actually quite important to me. It's one of the traits within me that is most valuable in myself, that I feel like people see me as capable. As much as I wish it didn't matter what other people think of me, it does. It really, truly does. And if I disappoint someone, I take it very personally. Thanks for the likes. And if you're here, comment, let me know you're here so I can see who's here and I can say hi to you. It really matters to me, even though it shouldn't. I'm a high school teacher, so I live in a high school environment all the time, in an environment in which there are cliques and there are communities and there are people who are leaders and there are people who, are cheerleaders, really. It's just like high school all the time. And in real life, I feel like real life is just like high school. Real life is just like that, where people have their friendships, they have the people they rely on, they have the people who are judgmental to them, they have strangers making snap decisions. Hey, Jessica, thanks for saying hi. All the time. Feel free to invite your friends. If this is something you think that they'd like to hear, tag some friends and invite them in. But here's where I'm coming from tonight. I have three kids, as I said. I have an almost 7-year-old daughter. I have a 5-year-old son. Hi, Melissa. I have a almost 2-year-old son as well, and he's really the reason for my call. There's two quick stories I'll share. First having to do with him most recently, and one having to do with Paxton when he was around the same age. Toddlers, almost 2-year-olds, are a handful, and I have seen plenty of moms who can sit in the grocery store with a toddler in their cart, just sitting there, as if the child's on Benadryl. I don't make those kind of kids. I make kids who are apparently very high energy, especially my youngest. I make kids who want to get up and run around no matter what snack and toy I put in front of them. And typically this wanting to get up and run around happens when it's least convenient. It happens when I'm at karate with my older kids. It happens when, we are at church. It happens when we are, trying to have sitting in the waiting room at the doctor's office. It happens when we're sitting at the gas station and he's unbuckling his car seat to wave hi to the gas station attendant. I just have a super social, almost 2-year-old. And when I go to karate, for instance, with my two olders, and they have their karate classes in separate time slots, one for 45 minutes, the next one for 45 minutes, I get about a half hour of time where Kellen, my little guy, sits still. And that half hour of time is when I'm slowly giving him a bottle of milk. I'm slowly feeding him one pretzel at a time, one craisin at a time, one strawberry at a time, and hoping he's not going to toss them across the room. But for the rest of the time, I am fighting a squirming, almost 2-year-old to sit still. One who doesn't like to cuddle. He has never cuddled. And when he was in my belly, he didn't stop moving. He is just so full of energy. And he has had lung surgery. And he could care less. He's all over the place. And it's without fail that there is two distinct reactions to him running around the karate studio when I'm trying to get him to sit still. There are the people who are giving him a high five and winking at me like, know what you're doing, Mom, as you run after her. And then there are people who look at me, I can tell, with this internal thought like, can't she get her act together? No. If I could get my act together, if I knew the magic pill to get him to sit still, the magic toy, the magic secret weapon, I would have used it a long time ago. I don't know it. All I know is to do my absolute best to watch my other two kids, to make sure Kellen isn't beating someone up or running out the door because he has now figured out how to open the front door, to make sure I clap at the right time, I can be hands-on when they need us to hold the pads and they need the moms to hold the feet so the kids can do their sit-ups, and keep my toddler kind of tethered in a stroller that he's able to unbuckle and get out of. I am doing my best when I am giving him snacks that I normally wouldn't approve of before dinner. And then more snacks, and then more snacks, and then more snacks. I am doing my best. I'm doing my best by being a mom who has been at work all day, is still in her work clothes, sweaty, in high heels and, nice slacks, trying to crawl on my hands and knees to get my toddler off of the mat. I am doing my best. Trust me. And sometimes my best is in public, a hot ass mess, right? It really is. And I bet you every mom who's tuning in right now, hi Sharon, hi Kim, can agree with this 100% of the time, right? 100% of the time. I do my best to take deep breaths. I laugh it off. I give high fives to the parents who are encouraging him. I smile at the ones who are giving me dirty looks. And I just do my best. Do I want to lose my cool? Yes. Do I want to cry in the bathroom of the karate studio? Often. Today, I was sweating through my shirt from running up and down with him, but I was doing my best. I had two kids who love their karate class, who love their karate school, who love all of the skills that this place has brought to them. Respect and communication and confidence and self-esteem and, just the ability to be kind to other people and to be disciplined. And there's so many benefits that I have a husband that works late. I have no choice but to bring that toddler with me and to wrangle him into a seat and, to get my second workout of the day trotting up and down in front of the other parents, trying to keep him off the mat and keep him happy. I'm doing my best. And it's making him happy. He's having fun. I'm kind of laughing in the annoyance of it all. But I just want to encourage all of us, when we see a mom or a dad who is obviously at their wit's end, don't be the parent who passes judgment. Don't be the one who huffs or the one who gets aggravated when that 2-year-old grabs your water bottle and goes running, because that's happened twice now. Don't be the parent who is, not holding the door for me when I'm struggling to get my stroller and 3 kids out. Don't be that parent. Be that parent who realizes that I and every other woman and every other man around us is just doing our absolute best in that moment. And sometimes our best in that moment, I don't know why I'm getting emotional right now, is ugly. And sometimes our best in that moment isn't in complete control. I have been in control of 120 teenagers' hormones all day long. That's where I thrive. 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 2-year-olds, I'm still learning, okay? I'm still learning. I'm trying every day. I didn't go to school for this. I went to school for teenagers. I'm still learning. I'm trying my absolute best. Oh, thank you. Oh, love you, Kim. I don't know what I did. Oh, never mind. I'm going to stop I'm trying to like your comment, Kim, and it's messing things up. And I don't want to have a wolf face, which my teammates know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to push live buttons. But sometimes doing your best is crying and showing your kids that you do, that we have emotions, that we feel judged, that we're not perfect, and owning that imperfection. I think that's one of the greatest gifts we can give our kids. It really is. But we need to give that gift to other moms. And if we see them struggling, instead of snickering or doing nothing, see if you can help. Offer up another snack to that random toddler running by, Give them a high five. Maybe, smile and wave at them. I had a dad tonight at karate who was offering YouTube for Kids on on his phone while my toddler's racing by because he had taken mine and turned it off and locked it and was like running off with it. This dad who hardly knows us, was giving my toddler his smartphone. Like, that's dangerous. But he was trying his best to be helpful, and it meant a lot to me. And I just genuinely appreciate it. And it brought back one of my hardest parenting moments. And I'm sorry if I cry. A few summers ago, so over 3 summers ago, 3 summers ago exactly, actually, my grandpa, who lived in Florida, was very ill. And so we knew that we didn't have a lot of time. And he and my son Paxton, who was almost 2 at the time, share a birthday. And so my mom and I thought it'd be great to bring the kids down to see him, most likely one last time. So it was a very last minute trip. The airplane was full, so I had to have Paxton share a seat with me. And now, again, I don't make cuddler kids. I make kids who are not sitter-stillers, you know? And so here's a nearly 2-year-old trying to sit on mommy's lap for a 2.5-hour flight to West Palm Beach. On the flight there, we managed, you know? He stood on my lap most of the time, talking to my mom in the seat behind us. The flight home was a different story. First off, it was just an emotional trip. We knew that that would be the last time we saw my grandpa. Everyone was emotional. I was super emotional. And then we get to the airplane, and me and Caden and Paxton, Caden was 3, Paxton was almost 2, were sitting with me, and my mom and my brother, who traveled with us, were in the next aisle and rows back. So I'm talking like 4 or 5 rows back. So it was just me and these 2 kids, and I had a very emotional few days. And Paxton was miserable, like terribly sad, terribly grumpy. And I'm not one of those Pinterest moms giving gifts to everybody on the flight in advance of thanking them for, you know, dealing with my child. A, he's a kid. I didn't think I needed to give people gifts for dealing with my kid. But B, I was so preoccupied with everything going on, I couldn't have even thought to do that for anybody. He sat on my lap, stood on my lap, screamed, yelled, headbutted me multiple times in this trip, okay? And the man sitting in front of me was so impatient about it, doing that like universal sign of you're annoying me back there. Well, I'm not a grown woman punching the back of your seat because I'm having a fun time doing my MMA workout. I have a 2-year-old I'm wrangling in a seat. You are a grown man. I apologize. I'm not trying to ruin your day, but trust me, mine is ruined 100 times more. I'm in a plane full of people. There's not an empty seat to be had, and I am trying my best, and I'm losing it because I'm not doing my best, you know? My best wasn't good enough, I should say. And I just remember holding it in the whole time we were on that flight, keeping it to myself and holding him as tight as I could and shielding my face. Who knew he would break my nose 3 years later. He didn't do it then. Literally headbutting me and bucking and not eating and throwing food, and it was a disaster. And as soon as we got out of that plane and we got into the terminal and my dad was waiting to pick us up from the airport, I gave Paxton to my dad and I just broke down in tears because I was so alone at that moment and so judged. Every parent judges themselves every day. Can we agree on that? Like, every parent judges themselves. Every action we do, we wonder if it was the right one. Every decision we've made, we wonder if it's the right one. If we work, we feel guilty. If we stay home, we feel guilty. If we miss a school function, we feel guilty. If our kids don't have the best of this, we feel guilty. I mean, we are constantly judging ourselves. So the last thing we need is other people judging us. And the last thing we need is to go around judging other people. So please, just cut that mom some slack. Cut that dad some slack. Hold the door. Give them a nod. Just let them know you've been there. Offer your smartphone if you're as nice as the guy at karate tonight. Just do something to let the other parents in the world know you've been there. It's okay. You'll get through this. You are doing your best. Your best is enough. It's the kid's fault, right? Like, just say something that's going to cause a smile. That's not going to add to the stress, because there's already a number one judge in the room, and it's that parent themselves dealing with whatever it is they're dealing with. So think about that. I was really feeling moved to share this tonight. I hope you get it. I'm not trying to fish for any kind of praise. Trust me, my parenting has plenty of holes. Here I am judging myself again. But what you see in public, we try to make it our best self, but like a kid, we're imperfect, and sometimes the mess comes out. So just give a nod, a smile, but keep those judgments for another time, for another place. They don't belong to another parent. I hope you guys have a great night, and I appreciate you listening. And